As a homeschooling parent, you know how much of a game changer a good homeschool planner is. It's your handy sidekick for keeping everything in check. Daily chores, weekly plans, monthly targets, assignments, you name it. And a well-kept homeschool planner does more than just organize your life. It's your tool to make sure that your kiddos get a balanced education. And if you set up your homeschool planner right, it can be like your personal tracker to see how well your kids are doing and to make sure that they're on track. And the best part of a homeschool planner, which I know, I'm the type of person that doesn't really like to plan, but I've learned over the years that having a plan is a stress buster. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be stressed out while I'm homeschooling my kids. And having everything mapped out, neat and tidy, kind of brings down the chaos and ups that productivity that we all strive for. And it's really the key to weaving together a rewarding homeschool. But before I forget, because you know me, I'm always forgetting to introduce myself, I'm Xuan from the Homeschool Front, and this is my YouTube channel, Life in the Trenches, where I share all things to help make homeschooling easy for you. And this video is part of a Secular Homeschool collab hosted by Niki from Homeschoolology, and you can check out her channel down in the description, as well as a playlist to see how other homeschoolers plan their homeschool year. Now let's get really into it. All right, so there are loads of options out there for homeschool planners. I feel like a majority of people like, I think it's called School Nest, and they have a series of homeschool planners that people just adore and love. And while I haven't checked it out yet, I've just realized over the years, and also, you know, I used to be a middle school history teacher and I used to use teacher planners. I've realized that I like to DIY it. I just find that it suits my needs. I'm not wasting any paper. It's super cheap. And, you know, one size doesn't fit all. And I'm not going to try to force fit myself into a planner, if you know what I mean. So crafting my own homeschool planner gives me so much options, and it's I don't know, if you're into bullet journaling, which I'm not, but at the same time, I like the customization that you can do with bullet journaling, but I just don't do it because it just takes too much time and effort, and I don't want to waste that much time. And with my notebooks, it's just basic. It's just the information that we need. It's not pretty looking, but I don't need anything pretty. I'm not one of those homeschoolers that need to have like that pretty, everything perfect kind of homeschool. And I like doing it the DIY fashion because I can, you know, switch things up. I can, if I skip a few days, I don't have any blank pages on my calendar, I can easily adjust depending on the pace my kids are at. When you plan, you're planning for the ideal. And to be honest, the ideal does not happen in your homeschool, at least not in mine. If it happens in yours, please let me know what your secret is, because nothing ever goes as planned whenever I try to plan something in detail. So with DIYing your own homeschool planner, you can use whatever notebook you want to use. I used to use like the fancy leather bound notebooks, but then I realized when I was done, I would just toss it away, and I just thought that was such a waste. So now I just use like a simple spiral notebook from Mead. It's the quad ruled. I like the quad ruled because it just makes me feel, I don't know, like a scientist or something. Makes me feel smarter than I really am. And I just use that, and it works perfectly for me. And each of my kids have their own notebook as well. And the night before, I just write a to-do list for them, and they get to check it off on their own. And my oldest son is at the point where he writes his own. He doesn't need my help as well. I use different colored pens. My kids like to use stickers and washi tape and markers. So, you know, it's like you just kind of do whatever you want to do. And it works, and it's cheap. And if you don't want to go the pen and paper route, you can use a digital planner. You can easily like create something on Canva and then upload it to GoodNotes, which is something I used. I tried doing the digital, and I like the feel of the paper. And I know that you can get, you know, like something to put on your iPad to make it feel more like paper when you're writing, but I haven't done that yet. But I just like that pen and paper kind of a feel. I'm analog, I guess. In addition to using my notebook that I use for planning, I also utilize ClickUp because I use ClickUp for my blogs, to manage my blogs. And I found that having additional planning on ClickUp helps me. And also I create a second brain on there. So if I find something online that I want to save, I can save it to a file folder on ClickUp for homeschooling, and that just makes it so much easier when it does come time to planning. I have all that information in one spot and I can easily plan a deep dive or what have you. And the beauty about a DIY homeschool planner is that it's tailor-made for your family and for your lifestyle. I mean, if you go and watch that link down below to see how other homeschoolers plan, you'll see that they all do things very differently and they all have different types of planners and so forth. So, you know, just do your own thing. And if you don't want to use like a pre-printed planner or, you know, like a notebook like I do, or ClickUp, you can also use Google Classroom, which is another great way to plan for your homeschool. I used to use Google Classroom as well, but I did migrate to ClickUp because it was just easier to have everything in one place, so I don't have to go back and forth between different websites. And then I know Notion is really popular, especially for the younger crowd. So if Notion's your thing, use Notion as well. That's fully customizable and there's so many templates out there. You can use it as a second brain, you can use it as a project planner, you can use it as, you know, homeschool planner, you can just use it for everything in life. So if you're interested in seeing how I like to use both a notebook to plan our homeschool and ClickUp, I do have 2 videos here and it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. So which one are you going to choose? And I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.